everyone. This is me, Jyotika Bedi, founder of Happiness is Love, here for you because we care and we believe together we are stronger. I'm very happy to share with you about our relationship skills series. We have already spoken about communication, conflict resolution and negotiation, and how to resist social pressure. And now I want to talk about a very, very important skill, how to show commitment for healthy relationships. Because in today's times, we're all struggling with commitment. How to show commitment for long-term relationship. We at Happiness is Love believe that real long-term relationships are built on a lot more than just chemistry and compatibility. Commitment is the essential ingredient that keeps all of us together, that keeps us all united. Commitment serves as assurance, a pledge, a promise, a guarantee of that personal agreement that you made with the one that you love. It's not just about keeping your obligation during the storms or the struggles or when the weather is turbulent. No, commitment comes much more into play when storms blow in. It's about weathering the storms together. It shows your resolve to honor your responsibility, sticking with each other through thick and thin. For those very reasons, it is important to assure your partner of your commitment every single day. And as we say, that love requires daily commitment, daily practice, hard work, and conscious effort. And that is why it is important for you to know how you communicate with sincerity. And the next question is, how? But how? 5 ways you can communicate your commitment to your spouse or your long-term partner. Communication involves verbal and non-verbal expressions. In fact, our body language speaks louder than words. Our words convey our thoughts, but our body language conveys our feelings. While saying something in words is important, showing it with corresponding actions leads to more credibility so that your words and your actions match. Hence, consider employing these 5 simple yet tangible ways to communicate your commitment to your mate. Show love and loyalty. Number 1. Love involves you telling your partner how much you love them. It is so important to let the other person know how you feel. And I love you is a magical word. It includes not just romantic gestures and sexual expressions of desire, but you should also have a deep desire to demonstrate your commitment to your partner's welfare by letting them know how much you love them. Your spouse or your partner should be the one that you want to spend your time with. You desire their company. You should show your love and loyalty by talking positively about, let's say, your marriage or your partnership or your relationship. By keeping contact with your partner in ways that will keep them close to you. Using words like we, my wife and I, or my husband and I when speaking, and by keeping pictures of your mate around at work. These simple actions tell the world that you are truly committed. In our house, we have pictures of our marriage, our children, our family, because these are beautiful reminders of our love towards each other. Express respect and appreciation. Only when you feel respect and appreciation for your partner can you genuinely express it. Make sure you communicate with kindness. Praise more than you correct. This will help convey more gratitude to your mate. In fact, one thing that my husband and I always do, we express a lot of praise and appreciation for each other. I'm forever expressing my gratitude for all that my spouse does for me, even our children. By being supportive, By being encouraging, this will only help you develop a healthier bond. Take time to truly listen to your mate. Don't be shy from sharing your own feelings and being vulnerable. Be gentle. Be gracious with your words. Really try to understand your partner's deep needs and wants. And at the same time, express your personal needs, your wants, your expectations, your interest, so that this will show your deep commitment in your relationship. Third, make sure you convey honesty and trust. Be what you want the other person to be. Commitment in a relationship is impossible without trust. Hence, creating and conveying trust calls for complete honesty. Only when you commit to being honest with your partner can you expect the same in return. Be honest about your past. Be truthful about your vision of your future. Share your thoughts, your feelings. Share your life goals so that you and your partner are on the same page. Do everything in your power to not let lies creep in your relationship. Number 4, work as a team and compromise. I always say marriage is a partnership. It is teamwork. So is parenting. And even if you have a partner, it's all about creating meaningful partnerships. Make sure that your teamwork shows commitment when it calls for you to be willing to sometimes compromise, have conversations which are tough. This means that you are concerned about not just your wants and needs, but also meet the needs and wants of the other. Because life is all about reciprocity. It is a two-way street, our relationships. You must stop being single at heart and shift from thinking about from mine to ours, from mine to we. Show that you value your partner and be willing to make changes that will make your partner happy. Make sure that you talk about your dreams and your desires. Keep your individuality, but work together. Next, disagree respectfully. You can agree to disagree. I can still be a kind partner or a parent by letting others know that I'm so sorry, I can't do this right now. I don't agree with this, and here's my reason why. I'm not okay with this, and explain why. Showing your commitment to your partner doesn't mean you'll never fight or disagree. Conflict is bound to happen. In fact, the first video of our relationship skills series is on conflict resolution and negotiation. Sorry, I think it's the second video. It's when you show up as you and you're okay to disagree, and it's okay for the other person to say no to you. Because the problem is not the conflict, it's conflict resolution and learning skills so that we can reconcile to our conflicts fast. Yelling or hurling accusations at our partner only leads to regret. Instead, listen to your mate with curiosity and a desire to really understand. If all of this fails, just agree to respectfully disagree. And that's okay. It's okay to disagree. Remaining sensible and supportive is the best way to express commitment during hard times. Ask yourself how hard it really would be to implement these suggestions and communicate your commitment. If you truly love your mate, try these 5 simple tricks, I may say, that will help you help your relationship. The choice really is yours, because whatever we choose every single day chooses us. And whatever you choose to not change stays. Change really lies in action. So how to show commitment at work? Your commitment at your workplace and your industry will be clear in your daily actions, your workplace behavior, your willingness to help others, be a team player, and your quality of work. These steps will help you by taking steps that will show your true character, will show that you are valuable and a dedicated employee. Consider showing up in ways that shows your level of commitment and create opportunities for advancement. So how do you do that? Simple ways. Be punctual. Punctuality shows professionalism and demonstrates time management skills. And I know today many of us struggle with self-management and time management skills. We have made videos to help you so that you can be more punctual. Make sure that you prioritize your work and make an effort to be prepared to deliver quality work every single day. You set goals to be efficient, to be productive and creative in your work so that you put your best foot forward. Meeting deadlines on time shows you value your time and your company's time. And this is going to be a sure shot ingredient for your success and leadership. Volunteer to help. An employee's greatest contribution in the workplace, aside your skills and your competencies and your strength, is that if you are available to help someone who's eager, to support efforts towards meeting someone else's targets, to regulate your work in such a way that you balance your job responsibilities and are there for your team members. Make sure that you devote time to help others grow, because together we are stronger. Together everyone achieves more, and together we all win. Make sure that you express a desire to advance. If you want to move up within your company, you have to set some time apart to discuss with your manager. Make sure that you set a target, a goal for yourself, and you show your dedication to your workplace so that you can discuss with your supervisor your career trajectory, your career path. Make sure you get yourself a mentor in the workplace so that you can have open, honest dialogues and seek advice for your improvement in your work performance. Show confidence. Confidence is everything. Invest in that skill. Believe me, confidence matters. Although acknowledging that learning is a continuous process and growth mindset is crucial for our career success, asserting your abilities and being confident in your skills only reveals your commitment to your job. Believing in your strengths, leading with your strengths, owning your strengths, and thanking the Lord for your strengths will only help you develop work-related goals which will be aligned with your long-term success. Be a team player. It's becoming more and more important in today's job market and career trends to work effectively with teams. We need to develop skills so that we are better team players. We are better collaborators. Cooperative work benefits the company by capitalizing on individual strengths and providing opportunities for each worker to learn from one another. Through teamwork, everyone shares the workload and reduces work-related stress. This positive company culture creates more success, more happiness, encourages every member to celebrate each other's accomplishments, and motivates one another. Request for evaluations. Make sure that you always seek feedback on your performance. It is the only way we can grow and learn. Asking for feedback only helps by showing your commitment and dedication towards your growth. Seek feedback from your supervisor, from your co-workers. Do a self-audit. I often ask my team, please give me feedback on what I am doing well, what are my areas of improvement, and then I work on how I can be my better, grander self. Make sure that you're open to constructive criticism. Take it in your stride so that you can work on honoring your skills. Listen to suggestions. Have an open mindset. Once you've been asked and told ways to improve, follow up. Make sure you take the advice. Make sure that you don't get stuck on the criticism, but you use the meat from that feedback for your growth and development. This shows that you value others' opinion and you trust your own views. Your dedication to your improvement will only foster more emotional growth and build a better rapport. Show leadership skills. This is so important. Some most sought after leadership skills are empathy, and we've made videos on empathy, active listening, being decisive and flexible. Use your leadership skills and strategic thinking skills, which will enable you and others to work creatively and collaboratively to solve complex problems and complete tasks on time. This will help you gain more trust and show your resourcefulness. Because again, the responsibility is yours to be that authentic leader. We have made a video on what authentic leadership really looks like and feels like. Please feel free to see our video. Recognize others for their strengths. Each one lead one. We all have unique qualities, unique strengths that we can all use to help each other grow. Validate others' contribution. Be that encourager so that you can better yourself and help others develop their skills. Invest in others' success. Invest in personal and professional growth so that you show to your company that you have a purpose, that you value your teamwork. You make sure that you understand every member and you understand that teamwork involves hard work, understanding, and commitment. Be an eternal optimist. An optimistic approach to work in your profession only shows genuine job responsibility and purpose. Having a positive outlook only encourages others to seek out to you. You will be the go-to person in your team, and it will prove to others that you are the solution provider. You are that one dedicated professional who's always thinking out of the box, who believes that yes, times are tough, times are rough, times are challenging, but these are growth signals. There is light at the end of the tunnel. You will provide inspiration and others will thrive because you will be that problem solver. When faced with an obstacle, your optimistic approach will help others lean on you. They will focus on what you have to say, and this will only produce great results. Share ideas. Make sure that you transfer ideas by building professional bonds, by being that resource that loves to ideate. Sharing ideas only creates an opportunity for you to highlight your critical thinking skills and shows to your team that you value knowledge about work. Take part in conversations that discuss processes at work and relate to ideas to improving your working style and to capitalize on unused resources. Make sure that you take initiative. Taking initiative shows your drive for results, your leadership style, your skills that are necessary for workplace success. Initiative is a leadership skill that again proves your commitment to reach your goals through action, commitment, and dedication. Acting upon your vision at work will only serve as a glorious example to your team that you are a leader. Having the skills and ability necessary to succeed at work will enable you to secure a position that fits your needs. So how do I show commitment? As a parent, let's say I'm a parent, I want to share with you 10 commitments that you can make today to be a better parent, a happier parent. And let's start with one. Let's commit to all the 10, and I'm here to support you all the way. Commit to taking care of yourself and stay connected. Self-love is not selfish. You cannot pour from an empty cup. All love springs and stems from self-love and self-care. So make sure that you prioritize your well-being. You stay centered when you will be happy and patient. Only then you will be more patient and happy with your children. This means daily practice of nurturing your body, your mind, your heart, and your soul. Going to bed early so that you are better rested. Eating healthy so that you can maintain better balance. You can be in a better mood. Transform your inner negative dialogue into an encouraging work. Challenge, check, change your negative narrative. Slow down so that you're less agitated. Most important of all, commit to managing yourself because everything starts from there. All management starts with self-management. Commit to loving the one you're with. This is so important. The one thing we know for certain about child development is that kids feel most loved and cherished when they see their parents in love. That doesn't mean that kids who are not loved don't see the kind of love in their parents. There are plenty of kids who, when they see their parents hug, hold hands, they thrive. Kids need to feel loved and cherished for who they are, and the best gift we parents can give them is to show love to each other. Every child is unique. Every child wants to be seen, heard, and loved. The hard work for us as parents is accepting ourselves first, accepting our partners, accepting our children for who it is that they are, so that we can cherish them and we can enjoy and celebrate their uniqueness. The secret is to see what is your perspective. Use that positive lens so that you can see everything in a positive light. Commit to staying connected. Make sure that you are constantly connected to your children. Hug your child first thing in the morning. Let your child know how special he or she is. Let them know that you love them. You are grateful for them. Spending focused 15 minutes of your time on your child will go a long way in making your child feel connected. Listen to them. Talk to them about your day. Share about your struggles, your storms, your childhood mistakes, something that you learned during the day. Make sure that you love and listen more. Stop working during dinner times and make sure you devote time for family time. We have something called talkie time. After dinner, we all sit, we talk, we chat, we laugh, and we snuggle. Commit to role modeling. You are their role model, because children will not listen to your advice. They'll only follow your example. So make sure that you are a good example, because children don't do as you say. Children do as you do. Commit to teaching emotional intelligence. It is so important to teach our children emotional self-management, emotional literacy. We need to help our children manage their emotions by teaching them to self-soothe. And this will not happen if I am an angry parent or I'm an agitated parent. That's why I need to make sure that I learn the techniques, the tools on how to teach my child to self-soothe. It's okay to be angry. It's okay to be mad, but you cannot hit mama. It's okay to be sad. It's okay to be angry. Just don't hold on to it. Make sure that you help your child calm down herself. Soothing is magical. When a baby cries and we soothe him, his body responds by sending out oxytocin and other soothing chemicals, because the child has done the hard work of calming himself down. Make sure that you give them the message that all feelings are welcome. However, you have to make sure that you manage your emotions. Empathize with their feelings. Validate their feelings. Tell them, I understand. I'm here for you. Listen to them when their feelings are hurt. Let them express the entire range of emotions. Occasionally, this will take the form of words. It will help to give your child words. Let's say, you're so mad. But more often, children just need us to give them safety of our loving presence while they cry or they rage and when their feelings. Make sure that you help them label their feelings, because especially little children don't have the vocabulary. They will not know what to do when they are upset. So as a parent, you have to help them navigate their feelings instead of acting out their feelings. We need to make sure that we take care of managing our feelings first before we can help our children. Commit to looking for the needs behind your child. Your child has a reason for whatever he or she is doing that displeases you. Behavior is only a form of communication. If you dig deep, beneath is a feeling. The child may be feeling sad or mad or hungry or just tired. And beneath those feelings are unmet needs. Maybe your child needs your connection, your attention, your affection, your appreciation. Make sure that you understand that behavior is a form of communication and your child is communicating to you. Commit to guiding them rather than punishing them. Children thrive when we give them positive reinforcements and positive rewards. Make sure you point out, praise, and encourage them when they do something good. We all parents are guilty of it. We are quick to judge. We are quick to correct. We are quick to critique. But if we want to build their character strengths, we have to build what is strong along with fixing what is wrong. Commit to remembering what's important, and as a parent have an attitude of gratitude. A lot of parents ask me, how can we teach our children gratitude? It starts with you. You are their model. Children will mirror you. So if you express gratitude to your children, I'm grateful to God for you. I'm grateful for a loving home. I'm grateful that we are learning and growing together. You will see that you will have magic happen in your house. Every interaction with your child will turn to be positive because you will focus on the good. You will express your thankfulness for the little things that we all take for granted. Be grateful for the little things and make sure you express it to your children. For instance, I am forever grateful to my children that they help me in the work that I do. I always tell them my work as a parenting coach is thriving only because I'm learning from my children. When I make mistakes, I own them. I acknowledge them. I apologize to my children and I tell them, thank you so much for being my teachers. Because I'm learning alongside, because parenting is about mutual learning, mutual growth, and mutual kinship. Make sure that you are committed to self-acceptance and compassion. All love, like I said, springs from compassion and self-love. Only your love heals you. And if your compassion does not include you, it is incomplete. You want to feel more love in your heart, you need to first give it to yourself. Because love is a verb. Yes, love is a doing word. And it starts with you first giving it to yourself before you freely give it to others. And we can only give love to our partner and our children once our own heart holds that love. So go ahead, expand your heart. Every time you feel bad for any reason, offer yourself love and caring. You'll be amazed how your life will transform. Last, keep perspective. Sure, your kids will make mistakes and so will you. There are no perfect parents, no perfect children, no perfect families. We are all work and learn. But there are families who live in the embrace of great love and kindness and they thrive together. The only way to create that kind of family is to make daily choices that you will lead. It's not magic, just hard work of course correction. To stay on the right path, to challenge your core beliefs and assumptions. Look within, turn inward and ask yourself, am I doing the right thing for myself and my children? Do I need to learn something? Am I aware of my communication style? Can I learn healthier techniques to communicate my negative feelings in a healthy manner? Am I able to communicate my anger in a healthy manner? Can I better myself as a parent? Make sure that you stop, pause and ask yourself, and guess what? We are here for you. We make our videos so that you don't feel alone. We are in this together. And before you know it, you will realize that we can make a difference. Only if we are different can we make a difference and change the whole landscape of parenting done right. I hope this video was useful to you, whether you're a parent, a partner, a professional. We love to make content for you so that we can learn and grow together and support one another. Keep smiling, keep shining, and keep inspiring.